Hi everyone, this is Demon, and this is a Legionnaire jungling guide. I've been playing Legionnaire a lot lately. I think I've been practicing him, I played him like 60 games or so out of my past 80. And jungling with Legionnaire, and just actually playing Legionnaire as a whole, is quite difficult. He has a pretty high learning curve for a hero. Now, a lot of jungling with him takes just experience and practice and repetition, but there are a few things that you need to know that are mechanistic, and that just take knowing them and practicing them and doing them correctly. And until you know those things, you can't even get into the art of jungling with Legionnaire. I am going to go through a full session of jungling both Hellborn and Legion, about 6 minutes or so each. But before I do that, I'm going to just show you how to stack properly, because stacking is absolutely necessary to jungling with Legionnaire. And there's a lot of special stacks that you need to know to really maximize what he can do. So I'm going to start with Legion Jungle.
They are afraid.
And I'm just going to cut down this tree.
He's coming.
And I'm going to cut down 4 more trees. I'm going to cut down this tree. I'm going to cut down this tree. I'm going to cut down this tree. And I'm going to cut down this tree. And
Give me a worthy foe.
I have refresh on. And you can see where I'm going with this, what this first stack is going to do. This first stack is going to stack both the easy camp and the hard camp. This is always what I use for my opening stack, because first of all, you always want your opening to somehow involve stacking the easy camp, because killing the easy camp gives you level 2 without taking much damage, which gives you charge, and charge really helps you take out medium camps and hard camps. It's actually almost necessary, I think. I think it's pretty necessary to stack the easy camp every single game as your opening move. So just notice the trees I cut down. I'll go back through them later. So how you're going to do this stack is you're going to position yourself. If you notice this little 4-leaf clover, like 4-leaf clover patch right here, you're going to click just underneath it. And now I'm going to wait for the creeps to spawn first, because I don't want to block them accidentally. But basically, at 53 seconds, you're going to aggro this camp. You're going to come down through this little hole you made, aggro this camp. Notice, click just below the plant. And then you're going to drag them out to this bush right here. So here we go. I'm going to wait 50, 51, 52, 53. Aggro those. Aggro those. Now come out this way. And now if you notice, that was stacked and that was stacked.
Someone will get the axe.
And that works for any creep spawn combination. I would recommend practicing that. And if you want to see it again, you can just rewind. I would recommend practice that. This is the hardest, by far the hardest stack in the game for Legionnaire to do, by far, and this takes the most practice. So I recommend that you practice this at least a few times in practice mode to get it down. I do it almost with 100% accuracy right now, but even I still screw up. So it's very difficult to do. Take some practice. I'll show you one more time which trees to cut down. You want to cut down this tree,
Show me the way.
this tree, this tree, this tree, and this tree.
Show me the way.
And that creates this nice little path. And what that does, the reason why you need to cut down both this tree and this tree is if you only cut down this tree, then these creeps go back through this way and block this. If you only cut down this tree, then you don't have enough time to come all the way around and stack that camp. So these 2 trees are very necessary. Now on to our second Our second double stack is going to be this medium camp and this hard camp.
Someone will get
And this
the
one's
axe.
pretty straightforward. I'm going to turn the fog off for this one because it's pretty important
They
for
are
this
afraid.
particular stack. You want to cut down this tree.
He's coming.
This is absolutely necessary.
Someone
And then you
will
wait
get
52.
the axe. Off
You want
with
to
their
throw a
heads.
hatchet and then aggro this camp
Someone
and
will
pull them
get the
straight out.
axe. Off with their heads.
And you will see, turn off the fog of war, that they're both stacked. Remember, you need to cut down this tree or else you won't have time.
They
And you
are
need to throw the
afraid.
hatchet at 52 seconds. Absolutely.
Someone will get the axe.
And again, you can rewind if you want to see it. If you want to see that stack
They
again.
are afraid.
Now I need to clear this out because the last stack I'm going to show you is stacking the pull and the medium camp together. This actually is I rarely do this because normally this is worded almost every game. Like I would say 90% of games it's worded. But still, this is really important to know, just in case it's not. Just in case this isn't worded, because you really want to know how to take advantage of
For
it.
the whirling
And
blade.
so, if this is worded, I recommend you do this stack, and if it's not worded, you should do this stack.
Off with their
Gonna
heads.
speed time up a little bit. By a little bit, I mean a lot. So you need to cut down this tree right here. And again, you're gonna stack this at 53. You're gonna throw a hatchet at 53. Notice how a hatchet is required for this stack and this stack.
Let's break their
So, alright,
spirit.
2.
Let the great axe fall.
Then I go this one and come straight out this way. The angle is also pretty important when you're stacking. You want to pay attention to where I'm clicking for the angles, because like this stack especially, if you don't get the angle right, you will either not pull this camp or not stack this camp. Like if you go too far this way, this camp doesn't get stacked, and you go too far this way, this camp doesn't get stacked. So this bush is the perfect place.
Let's break their spirit.
So just as a tree chopping review, for these stacks together, you need to cut down this tree.
Show me the way.
And for these stacks together, you need to cut down this tree.
Let the
Or actually,
great
this tree
axe
works too,
fall.
but use that one.
Let's break their spirit.
So again, if you want to see any of those,
Someone
I will
get the
have a
axe.
full 6-minute, like straight up jungling thing, and I'll definitely be doing those stacks during that, or you can just rewind the video. Alright, now for
Let's
Hellborn.
break their spirit. Someone
For my
will
opening
get
stack
the
for the
axe.
Hellborn jungle,
They are afraid.
again, you'll have time to cut down all of these trees, because you want to buy your items quickly, and then walk all the way down here as soon as possible. We're going to cut down just like, in general, all of these trees.
Give me a worthy foe.
And you'll have time. And actually, those 2 trees at the end there weren't necessary.
Prepare yourselves.
You can maybe, if you want, use the time
Someone
to cut
will
down
get the axe.
trees for this stack that I'll show you in a second.
Off with their
Maybe
heads.
cut down the tree for this stack.
Let's break their spirit.
But for stacking these 2 together, you're going to wait until 53.
Someone will get the axe.
So 50, 51,
Off
52,
with their heads.
53. Throw a hatchet.
They are afraid.
Come down here. I go this camp. And then
Let's break their spirit.
both stacked.
Off with
Note
their
that when
heads.
you're stacking healer camps with a hatchet, you need to throw the hatchet at the healer, or else
Someone
it
will
won't work.
get the axe.
because if you throw it at one of
Let's
these
break
little
their
antling dudes,
spirit.
then he just stays there and tries to heal the antling.
Someone will get
This
the
is a really
axe.
interesting stack that you can do when this isn't warded. When this pull isn't warded, and the fog of war is actually important in this stack, so I will turn it back on. You need to cut down this tree.
Show me the way.
And then if there's minotaurs, you need to also cut down this tree. But there aren't. But I'll cut it down anyway.
Give me a
Because the
worthy
minotaur
foe.
is like just too far and is just barely hidden by this tree. So anyway, what you need to do for this stack, remember, you don't even need boots or anything. You need to wait until 52. So 49. And then you need to come over here, aggro this camp, bring them straight back. And now if we turn off the Fog of War, you'll see that they're both stacked. And then you can proceed to pull this and do whatever you want.
Someone will get the axe.
So let me come over here and just show you really quickly this working, because it does work, despite how much I may make it look like it doesn't work. So we're going to wait until 53. La 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 la.
They are afraid.
51, 52, 53.
Show me the way.
Now you're going to aggro these creeps and bring them directly this way.
Axe. Off with their heads.
And there we go.
Someone will get the axe.
2 beautiful stacks.
They are afraid.
Now, again, if you want to see any of the stacks again, just rewind. A quick review, there's this stack right here, this was these 2 camps, which requires you taking out all of these trees in the enemy. This is the normal opening stack that I use. There's this stack, which requires taking out these 3 trees. And I use this sometimes, not very often. I actually probably use that stack the least often out of any of them. Out of any of the stacks ever, I use that stack the least often. I still do use it a couple times though. And then finally this stack, for when they don't ward the pull, you cut down this tree. And then if there's minotaurs, you need to cut down this tree as well. And then you just...
Let's break their spirit.
So
they are afraid.
Now that you have the techniques to be able to jungle effectively, now is when you can actually start practicing and trying to get experience in jungling. So I'm going to go through 6 or so minutes of straight jungling with Legion and then with Hellborn, and I'll do a little bit of commentary during it.
Someone will get the axe.
So you get an idea of how to use these in actual practical jungling circumstances. And then later on, when I have time, I'll cast a full Legionnaire game on both Hellborn and Legion and bring it all together into how you actually use it in a real game.